Purpose and mission. Something I heard today in today's one of my interviews with one of my podcast guests today, and it really hit home, especially for mental health and working through emotions. And it's the idea that, whilst I think there's a number of factors on the mood, things like depression, anxiety, stress, of course, there's a number of things that can make up those things. And that's why I'm not a big fan of just treating the symptoms. I believe to dive in deeper. And I've certainly been working through and experiencing my emotions and just sitting with them, not suppressing them, just sitting with them. And it's been good. I'll get into moments of peace and joy. Whilst I think there's many factors that make them up, I think one thing that can really push through those negatives is when you're 100% in your heart and living for something that's bigger than you, because those things just don't matter as much. Now, can you be in that place 100% where you feel like you're in this big purposeful mission all the time? No, but my objective is to get into that place where I'm there more often than not. And I know for me, when I'm interviewing podcast guests, when I'm sharing my story, no matter what people think of me, on like things like this, I get some they're like harsh comments, but I do it because it's what's true to me and what feels important to me to share my voice and who I am and my message on mental health, on the self-esteem, confidence, mindset as well. But yeah, when I believe I had a guest today and he was talking about that often we're suffering because it just hit home in a different way. When you hear something but it hits home. I've heard Tony Robbins say it in a different way, but this way this guest spoke was just so good, in the way that we need to have something really dear to our heart that's bigger than us, and that can't be something that's you think would be good. It's got to be something that genuinely lights your heart, or kind of breaks your heart to see, and you want to move through. So, you might see people starving in the country, and you're like, that's what my cause is going to be. But if it's not really in your heart, not to say you don't care, and not that you don't want to give money to that charity, it's amazing. But if that thing really doesn't impact your heart as much as maybe men's mental health or sick children, then align yourself more on mission with something that really gets your heart, is what I've realised. And for me, that's men's mental health, because I've been through a lot of challenges and very dark places, and that really feels like my calling, in certain times, and I sometimes forget it. But when I'm really talking about it and really showing my voice and showing my messages, even when it's hard days, that really feels me like lit up. And that really can push through some of those difficult emotions, which ironically is what men's mental health is on. It's like we go through all these challenges. Doesn't mean I don't feel hurt or sad or whatever, but when I've really got a purpose and I'm truly in line with what I want to do, then my worries really, really reduce. How am I doing today? I'm doing all right, actually. I'm doing a podcast membership at the moment, which people are buying into, so that's cool. And giving value there, giving value to people, interviewing a lot of cool people wanting to help me out and loving it. When you give value, things come back. I'm now at a place where the situation that has really hurt me for the last almost 2 months is I'm 50% of the time seeing it as neutral, and I'm in a very neutral, I can kind of like move any kind of emotion away from it. Not that I'm emotionless, but I don't feel the hurt. And then probably 25% of the time it's quite hurtful still, and then another 25% sort of mild. So that's good. But again, don't put a timeline on grief and working through things, as per my message on grief yesterday. But yeah, really what I wanted to talk about and share today is when you're on mission, you're in alignment with like a vision, and when you feel it, you'll feel it. It's got to be something you genuinely care about, not what your mind thinks or what someone else says you think you should care about, but what your heart actually cares about. It's a game changer. So I'll leave that with you today. And yeah, maybe feel into it, don't think into it, what really could light you up in life.